Hey guys, I just got to Nebraska. I'm here at Hornady. In this video, we're gonna check out how reloading tools are made. Hey guys, Gavin Gear here from UltimateReloader.com. I am here in the engineering room for reloading tools here at Hornady, and I'm with Dylan Hood. Dylan, thank you so much for having me.
Good to have you.
Dylan is a lead engineer here at Reloading Tools at Hornady, and here's what I was thinking for the video. I would love to show the entire life cycle of a product, a reloading tool, like starting with the design obviously, but then if we could like look at raw materials, look at some of the machining steps, and then maybe even look at assembly, something like that, like the entire life of it. Is that something we can do?
Absolutely. How does the 3-in-1 case trimmer sound?
Perfect. Okay.
Awesome.
Can we do some SolidWorks?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what are we looking at here, Dylan?
So this is our 3-in-1 case trimmer. We fundamentally wanted to start with the motor. What you're looking at, that motor right there has a 2200 RPM spindle speed, and it is direct drive. So instant torque and instant stop.
No belts.
No belts. So we, based off of the motor we selected, we then decided to build everything around that.
Gotcha.
So what you're looking at is a fairly modular design that everything can be broken out into sub-assemblies, as well as different materials. So noted here, this is everything in 6061 aluminum. We have a bunch of 12L14 that includes the collets and the pilots. Something like the handle is actually 2011 aluminum that we drop complete off of our lathe. And then we have some sourced things like our stamped pieces as well as our injection molded pieces, and those are both sourced in the US, which is pretty cool.
Gotcha.
As far as hardware goes, some of this is off the shelf and some of it is custom. Then we dive down into our C2 carbide cutters that are on the actual cutter housing. And last but not least is the motor. Like I said, that was the pinnacle of what we wanted to see this high-speed trimmer do.
So you've got a complete assembly here, and you can kind of see what you're about to manufacture. How about the whole cam step? Like in terms of taking a 3D solid model and turning it into G-code that the machines can run.
Absolutely. So that one is a fun one. We have a couple of guys in here that can run Mastercam. I do not. But what ends up happening is we take that solid model that we already established and then we give it to them. Then they can start running the program on it. Okay, gotcha. With custom tooling based off of the tooling that we have. Soft jaws, that's kind of their domain.
Is this machine operators that also do programming then?
Yes, we have two that do.
So they know the end-to-end process.
Yes, yeah, they get it. So they're the intermediary, and then obviously if they need to want something changed, they just talk to me, and it's like, hey, Dylan, you're an idiot. Why did you want it? Why'd you design it this way? And then we usually find common ground, and then we're off to the races.
Cool. Well, let's go see some parts being made.
Absolutely. Good. So this is, we're at one of our machines right here. This is our brand new 5th axis.
Oh, nice.
So this allows us to be a little bit more flexible when it comes to manufacturing parts. Something like this should look fairly familiar, or at least halfway familiar.
Yep.
So this is part of the shuttle for the 3-in-1 high-speed trimmer. Yeah. What this allows us to do is we can put it in the machine, and what normally would take 3 or 4 operations, now we're doing it in 2. What that means is people are touching it less. Yep. We can be constantly actually filling up the pyramids in there, and our tolerances are held significantly tighter. Nice. So all you're doing is you see stage 1 right here. Not quite final product, but nice and raw.
Very cool. And I take it these go out to anodizing somewhere?
Yeah. So we'll send those out to anodizing when we get the batch size that we need.
Cool.
Yeah. So this is the machine that we use to drill out the components for the faceplate. Okay. So you can see I don't necessarily need to put this in the 5th axis because I can do everything from the front side, flip it over once to clean it up. Nice. And then we're off to the races. So that should look pretty familiar. Then yet again, we wait for the bulk quantities to come in before we send it out to anodizing.
Very cool.
So right here is some of the custom hardware that we use. So just brass thumb screws this goes on a couple of things, not just the trimmer, but the trimmer is probably
comparator tools?
comparator tools. These are actually slightly bigger than
Are
the
they?
comparators.
Okay.
But essentially the same thing, just
Yeah.
a little bit wider.
Gotcha.
So this is what holds on that clear shaving shroud, and that little bin goes right under
Gotcha.
it. So we try to drop as much as we can in-house. The only thing on the trimmer that we don't is, of course, the motor.
Okay.
But there you go.
Gotcha.
Alrighty. This is the heart of it.
Yeah.
So this is what the motor comes in as.
Okay.
And obviously we love the raw aluminum finish, but it's missing something. And that something is that Hornady logo.
Yep.
We actually do laser that in-house, which is really, really cool. We have a couple of lasers right now. That is what he's actually working on.
Okay, very cool.
Sets it up in the fixture. We have the program already set, and all he does is hit go, and it's off to the races.
Awesome.
So I kicked Daniel out of his spot a little bit to kind of show you guys what's going on. So these are some pieces that we actually drop complete off of our lathes in-house. Yet again, we get it second-ended. Both sides are tapped, and then you see the little detents right there.
Yeah.
That is for your macro adjust stop.
Yeah, carriage
on the,
positioning.
Yep, carriage positioning on the trimmer. Then, like I said, we have some hardware. We just saw these, just our custom thumb screws. Then moving over here, stamp pieces. This is for the bin holder.
Yep.
As well as the clear shaving shroud
Right.
that interfaces with those custom bolts entirely. Over here we make a sub-assembly for the handle. It makes more sense in the long run for us to do that. And then this just came back from anodizing, so this is that adjustable hard stop.
Yeah, right.
So we wanted to make sure it's nice and pretty, so they put it in bags for us. Very cool.
So how long does it take a technician to assemble one of these trimmers?
About 20 minutes.
Okay.
But that's assuming a couple of things. Start to finish, yes, but based off of the reason we have sub-assemblies is to reduce that time.
Sure.
So it's easier to make the sub-assemblies, and it's a lot faster, more consistent, and then you just put everything together right at the
like
end.
an engine coming onto a vehicle at the plant.
Yes,
Engine's
exactly.
assembled over here, and then the car comes together. On
the
on
transmission and the engine aren't made in the same
Right.
place, right?
Right.
And so this is one of the sub-assemblies we have right here.
Ooh, pretty.
Yep, very, very pretty. Click detents are really sharp.
Yep.
And same with the cap, as well as the bushings. Then the other side of that piece is right over here.
Aha.
So that should look pretty similar.
Yep.
Faceplate we looked at, and then we didn't get to look at this today, but our laser engraved motor, and these are all checked with a concentricity gauge to ensure that they are correctly aligned.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So once we have about 3 of these completed, we set them on this plate here, and then we send it down the road. The reason we have it on this side is because it actually bypasses some of the other presses that we have set up.
Okay, gotcha.
So super, super fast. Then once we get this down there, they're shrink wrapped, put in packaging, and sent out to Hornady West. It was sent down the line. We finally got it shrink wrapped.
Ooh, it's still warm.
It is still warm.
I love it. Finished product.
Yep. So we'll throw that on a pallet later today, and it'll head out out west.
Very cool.
But before I forget, we wanted to do something for you.
Woo,
we
look
got
at
you a Ultimate Reloader custom reloading block.
So did you know that I'm a sucker for anodized aluminum?
Because I had a hunch.
Okay.
I've seen a video or two.
Well, that's awesome. You're going to probably see this in some upcoming reloading videos, that's for sure.
Yep.
Dylan, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a pleasure to have you out here, and let us know if you need anything.
Yeah, we'll absolutely do. We got more content coming up as well, so make sure that you're subscribed with notifications. And if you have feedback, questions, drop a comment, and we'll see you there in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. 2 quick things. First, if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, you're going to want to go to ultimatereloader.com/subscribe. We've got content recaps, free downloadable resources, and some amazing deals. Second, there's an exclusive preview of our exclusive membership community, Ultimate Reloader Pro. You go to ultimatereloader.com and you look at the new header up there. There's a button where you can join or even take just a quick preview. One of the things I want to highlight from there is our new discussion forum. This is where you can ask us questions and discuss different reloading, rifle, ammunition, pistol topics with other subscribers. This is a great intimate community. Looking forward to discussing things with you there. ultimatereloader.com/pro.